Hi guys, it's Elena with Shumanev Production, and today I'm gonna tell you all about this incredible venue, Malibu Rocky Oaks. Hey guys, today we're gonna talk with the lead manager at the Elegant Ninja and event planner
Malibu Rocky Oaks.
at the Malibu Rocky Oaks, and she's gonna tell us all you need to know for your wedding. So could you please tell us how many people can this property accommodate?
So typically, comfortably, this property can accommodate anywhere from 40 guests to 160. We can do almost 180 if we capitalize on areas over there. We've actually done some events up to 250. We cover the pool for those, and we would do ceremony down. There's a parking lot that we usually do for cars, but we turn that into a ceremony. So you could actually go up to 250, but within a good price, maybe between 50 and 150, 160.
Very cool. So what's the average price for this property?
So it varies drastically depending on your guest count. It depends on your day of the month. And also season. So if it's within season, I think our season starts in April. So from April to October, it's a little more expensive for Saturdays, and they're usually non-negotiable. And right now we're at $35,000 just for booking the venue. And then for Sundays and Fridays, they're usually a little more negotiable. If you're under 100 guests. Over 100 is usually a little bit more. So it's actually very hard to price here.
So it varies.
It varies, but we can do it. I know that we've done it for on weekdays, off season, for under 100. We can negotiate it down to 10,000.
How long in advance do you need to book?
We book weddings even a month in advance. It doesn't matter. But we can't do it more than a year. So you won't get your contract. If you're trying to book it for next year, you won't get it up until exactly 12 months before your wedding. But we can book it as early as a month before. We've done that before as well.
Where do you usually hold your ceremony?
For ceremonies, almost everybody likes the helicopter pad. It's one of the most beautiful locations on the property, and it's definitely the selling point of the whole place.
And where do you normally put the tables? Is it inside or outside? Or
Almost always outside because of the view. So we do most of our tables right here where we're sitting, and we put them by the pool. There's also an area that overlooks the helipad that we also can fit seat guests. So this area, just this area here, we can fit up to 160.
What's the restroom situation?
The restroom situation is, it's actually included in the rate, and we bring in luxury restrooms, and we put them out in the parking lot. People always get nervous. They're not porta potties. They're luxurious restrooms. Celebrities have used them. They're very nice. The ones that they use at the Grammys and the Oscars.
Okay, so where does the groom and the bride get ready?
So the bride gets one of the nicest rooms, if not the nicest room in the whole house, and it's upstairs. We call it the Bridal Suite. And it has views that are even better than down here, and it's private, and she has access to it all the entire day from 7 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Do people ever stay overnight here, or how long can you book it
yes,
for?
They don't technically offer an overnight stay. However, never say never. There's always a price for everything, so they won't. But a lot of times, if you do want to do the overnight, you pay for the price for the next day for the event day. So okay. If you can, get the event day the next day for $12,000 or $15,000, you pay for the $35,000 on a Saturday and then the $15,000 for the Sunday together, and then you can get both days.
So what's the situation with swimming pool?
So the swimming pool is immaculate. It's a saltwater pool and it's heated. We don't allow the guests that are for weddings and events. We don't allow them to go inside. There's usually a fee for that, only because it's so well maintained that it's expensive. Anything goes wrong, the tiles are hand placed, and every season we redo the tiles, so they look brand new every season. Everything here is absolutely perfect, which is why we have a lot more rules than most places, but that's because we want to make sure it's perfect for your wedding.
Talking about rules, what are do's and don'ts?
Don'ts are don't jump in the pool. Usually that'll get you a big fine. I think there's in your contract is usually we'll say like $1,000, $2,000 fine for jumping in the pool. So you don't want to do that. Don'ts would be any glass by the pool. You don't want anything, dropping in, because that causes a lot of trouble, because if we can't get it out, we have to drain the pool. A don't would be don't come up here without an appointment, because that happens all the time and we won't allow you up here. It's a private residence. A do would be obviously have a great wedding. You hire a really good event planning company. We obviously would love for you to use our company, but we are not opposed to using other companies, especially ones that we recommend. Because you want to make sure you're doing it the right way. If you don't have a planner, it's almost impossible to do a wedding here because you're bringing everything from scratch. You have to bring the number of plates, you have to bring the bar, you have to bring your alcohol, your food, your entire kitchen we build in the garage. You can never do that on your own. It's way too hard. So definitely do hire a professional wedding planner, and ideally one that has a lot of experience with estates and not just hotels.
So you guys don't use your garage for parking spots, then what's the
No.
parking situation?
So the parking situation, we have the parking lot that I was talking about for the guests if they want to do ceremony. We have it down below, and the valet companies that we require you use with us are the ones that will offer a van that takes or a shuttle, a nice shuttle to take guests up to the top, because the house is on such a big piece of property, it's hard to walk from the parking lot. So you will have to hire valet to park your guests, and then they would ride up in the shuttle.
What's the smoking policy?
So we do allow smoking here. We don't have any designated spots, but what I would usually do, I would have a sign, and I would bring plenty of ashtrays in that area. A lot of times if we do it somewhere like that area where we don't do anything else, it's just a smoking area and it's separated from everybody else, because you have to also keep in mind guests don't like smoking. But this is a private area, private residence, we're allowed to have smoking here. We just try to limit it to one spot only, and we never want cigarette butts. You get charged for cigarette butts on the floor. So we want to make sure if you do have people who smoke cigars or cigarettes, to provide plenty of ashtrays, and that's something your planning company will make sure to get through your rentals.
So in the fee, does furniture rental or any kind of equipment comes into the price?
No, that's actually, nothing comes in the price. You're only getting the estate. And one of the most popular questions in the history of questions at Malibu Rocky Oaks is, how much does an average wedding cost? That is one of the most loaded questions you can ever ask, because the reason why this venue is so great is because it is so tailored to what you want and what your budget is. Like I said, the budget here can go from $10,000 for renting it alone to $35,000 on a Saturday, over 100. So I've had clients come in here with 150 guests for a Saturday in the middle of the season where it's very expensive, and they can't afford it, and they were like, okay, we're okay with using a Sunday and going under 100 and cutting their cost of their guests. So now their rate for the estate was $15,000. That's $20,000 less because they were under 100. So that alone changes your overall cost for your wedding drastically. And then your rentals, because you bring in whatever you want, can also vary drastically. So a lot of the power is in the hands of your planner. So the more options and the more connections and the more negotiations they have, the better deals they can get. So, like for example, me, I work with all the vendors. I can get my clients a lot of discounts. So I can do weddings anywhere from, again, this is very rough estimates, but let's say your guest count is under 100. I can usually do it for around, not counting the estate because that varies drastically. Let's say we're just counting everything else, the photo, the video, the florals, the catering, the rentals, everything, the planning, but not the estate. You're looking at, for under 100, you're looking at 60, 70,000 average. And then for over 100, not counting the estate, you're looking at maybe 80, 90, up to 100,000 that you can do if you're over 100.
Okay. So what's the situation with when the weather is cold and guests are outside? Do you have any heaters?
Yes, so that's also through the rental company. And if it rains, which I know is going to be your next question, if it's under 100, we've done it before. We can make it inside, and we can fit under 100 guests inside. And we actually got one of our weddings that was on a rainy day inside on Style Me Pretty. So it turned out still beautiful, even though we were hectically trying to move everything inside. You can tent. If you tent here, you have to know at least 2 weeks before, because the levels are very different. So it will cost a lot more, and you have to take a risk. 2 weeks before, you don't know for sure if it's going to rain. We never had that happen for us, but we have had it rain on us twice pretty badly, and we moved it inside, and it was still beautiful.
Very cool. So we see 2 floors, and I can kind of see the 3rd floor. Is that 3rd floor?
Yes.
And what does it have?
It's just a view. So it's a really pretty area for seating. A lot of times the bride and groom will go up there at the middle of the day during the hectic time and just have snacks. Usually it's after ceremony's done, a secret spot for them to go up that nobody can go up to, and it's just private and nice. Also, the bridesmaids sometimes earlier in the day, if they're getting ready, they go up there for photos. It's beautiful. It's the highest point at the house, obviously, so it's really nice.
And what about disco? Where do you usually hold disco?
So one of the great things about Malibu Rocky Oaks compared to other estates that I work at is that the dance floor is actually centered with the whole party. So the cocktail hour is on this side, the dance floor is in the middle, and then the dinner is here. So with the doors all open, it feels like one massive ballroom. It doesn't feel like you have to go somewhere very far away for dancing or anything. It's literally right over here. The doors are open during dinner. You can hear the music playing. It's very nice. So you don't feel like your separate party being here and here, and then the cocktail hour on that side. All of it seems like one big, because all the doors stay open and the music is very loud.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.